Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast, episode 131. And today we are having a very, very special occasion where we are actually simulcasting from the East Coast to the West Coast. Today I'm on with my sidekick, my trusted sidekick. He's back in the house. Kaden GURU is here. And we also have my cousin Curtis and his grandson, the young GM, are in the house as well. So I want to say thank you for, putting this together, cousin, and I appreciate, going coast to coast with this for the first time ever. So now we got the Guru, we got Kaden GURU, we got so hey, I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you for letting us do this simulcast podcast.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We look forward to it.
Yep. It's definitely a pleasure to be here with you guys and talk some sports.
Well, this is the second time I've been on with you guys, and I really enjoyed the first time because, we talked a lot of football and, like I said, you guys know your football, and I'm very, very glad to have, be associated with good people that know their football as well. Now, the way I usually do mine is I always introduce what I'm going to, be bringing to the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go with the flow. I'm going to start off by talking about Serena Williams. Now, Serena Williams had her final match yesterday. And, it was kind of weird that I got caught in traffic up there because I was on the road. But I wanted to tell you guys that through all of that, Serena was one of the greatest of all time. Now, you can talk about Martina Navratilova. You can talk about Chris Everett. You can talk about Monica Seles. You can talk about Billie Jean King, Althea Gibson, all the greats. But Serena Williams was one of the best. What do you guys think of Serena Williams when you think of tennis, women's tennis in general?
I think of a generational. I think of a leader in that sort of way. Like 23 Grand Slams is insane, and that's the most in the Open era. And I feel like she just revolutionized the sport, not even for just women tennis, for the sport in general. I feel like she just revolutionized it.
Indeed. Cuz, what do you think of her when you think about Serena Williams?
Since this is the young GM show, I'm gonna defer that question to him and see what he has to say, and then I'll chime in after he gives his answer.
Okay. Well, I know that she started playing doubles with her sister Venus, sorry, pronounced her name wrong. And then they both went their separate ways, and then Serena began to dominate by herself. And
because she became such a dominant force in the game, that's all people talked about was how she dominated the game. But as most women, and I'm trying really hard not to be chauvinist or sexist here, as most women tend to do, she decided that it's time for her to go her separate way. But it didn't just happen now. She started her own fashion line long ago while she was playing tennis. And like I said, she started out as a doubles player. Her and her sister Venus dominated. They went and started playing singles. Venus kind of fell off, but Serena was always the dominant one there. At the same time, maintaining that other business side of her, the feminine business side where she had her fashion. And now she wants to settle in and just be the mom. Exactly. I'm sure she's got some other business prowesses, but I think that's a good move for her.
I think so too. And it's funny because like when I was living in California, I used to go by Compton College, and I used to see this guy with these two little young ladies. And from that time on, I said, man, that's something else. And found out it was Venus and Serena actually being taught by their father, which is really, really remarkable. Okay, what I'm going to do is you guys are talking football. Okay, so what was the conversation that you guys had before we joined?
Russell Wilson contract extension.
Okay.
Yeah, it was how the Seattle Seahawks took a lesser player and gave up one of the perennial quarterbacks in the league, and how his extension is just going to possibly further the number of Super Bowls for the Broncos.
I honestly don't mind Russ. As a Cardinals fan, Seahawks in our division just makes it easier. But the Seahawks are also a rebuilding team. They were trying to make some cap room. That's why they got rid of Bobby Wagner, and that's why they got rid of Russell Wilson. Those are two players that are going to want to get paid. So by bringing in, well, not really rookies, but they're not really veterans either, in Drew Lock and Noah Fant. Noah Fant can do really good this season. We've seen him produce in Denver. Drew Lock is just a placeholder for when the Seahawks actually go and start looking for a quarterback or a linebacker to fill the position that Bobby Wagner had in that defense, and Russell Wilson as the quarterback.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing. You guys, young GM knows his stuff, and I am really, really impressed by, every time, like I said, this is the second time I've been on with you guys. I am very impressed by his knowledge of the NFL and everything that goes on. Now, we have a Philadelphia Eagle fan in the house.
Fly, Eagles, fly. You already know. I'll say this. As I root for my team more, I feel more delusional. I'm not even gonna lie.
You shouldn't feel delusional, though. The Eagles just got rid of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and they just got rid of Jalen Reagor. Two wide receivers that they didn't need. Jalen Reagor's on the Vikings for a couple of draft picks. And the Eagles got Gardner Johnson as a safety, and then they traded for someone else. The Eagles have been making some very good trades and moves this offseason to improve their team. The Eagles are more of a contender to win the NFC East now than the Cowboys are.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that because I think that Dallas has got worse and Philadelphia's got a lot better. And I'm really critical as a guru of sports. That's how I became the guru, because I was critical of the Philadelphia Eagle fans, and I think that they basically have a shot now. I don't think they have a shot to win the Super Bowl or advance further, but I look at it this way. They have to get past Minnesota. They have to get past the Rams. They got to get past the 49ers. There's a lot of stuff in the NFC, just like there's a lot of stuff in the AFC for, teams to get through.
I'll say this as an Eagles fan. So Howie Roseman's trying to make the team a better team through free agency, but I've seen it before, with Nnamdi Asomugha and Vince Young and the Dream Team, and there's still that thought of okay, we have a good team now. Now it's time. Now it's expected to win, expected to make the playoffs this year. And if Jalen Hurts underperforms, then we might be looking at a new quarterback or thoughts of reconsidering to get a new quarterback.
Trust me, Jalen Hurts will not underperform. I believe in him.
Now I got
and that's coming from a Cardinals fan.
Exactly. I was going to say.
It does help that he did come from Oklahoma, and he has produced a good amount in his first two seasons with the Eagles.
All right, I got a question for you, young Gio. How do you think Baker Mayfield is going to do?
See, now this is where I start to get angry because this is where Cleveland did my man Baker dirty. Deshaun Watson is suspended for 11 games. They're going to run with Jacoby Brissett and Joshua Dobbs, who I didn't even know Joshua Dobbs was still in the league. Jacoby Brissett is not going to do anything. Kareem Hunt wants a trade, and they're not going to give that to him, so he may not play. Jarvis Landry's gone, so now they've got David Njoku at tight end. Austin Hooper's on the tight ends. And then they've got Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashard Higgins, and David Njoku. That's all I know. The Panthers are going to win. Baker Mayfield is going to smoke the Browns in week 1. They've got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, and Baker Mayfield. That team is going to win. Stephon Gilmore is on the Colts. That was a bad mistake for the Panthers to let them go. But the Panthers are definitely going to beat the Browns in week 1.
Oh, wow.
I got a question. How many sacks do you think that Myles Garrett's going to get?
Well, their offensive line, I'm not sure what they did with it. I'd say he averages 2.5 sacks that game, maybe 3. Because he's still a great, one of the best defensive ends in the league. So 2.5, 3 sacks that game.
That's not bad. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very big game for Baker Mayfield. I think that he has to prove that, he should have been the quarterback in Cleveland instead of the Browns quarterback that they currently have. On my podcast, I don't talk about him. I don't even mention him by name because he's not worthy of being mentioned in my eyes. But I do see that the Panthers have made some strides and made some improvements, and I really think that they might be a little bit dangerous too. A little bit dangerous if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy.
One team that I do want to see play, 2 teams actually, is the Raiders and the Dolphins. The Dolphins just acquired 2 of the fastest players in the league in Raheem Mostert and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is like making it seem like Tua Tagovailoa is just the quarterback of the century, saying he's better than Patrick Mahomes in his accuracy and his throwing power. So that really just puts a burden on Tua's shoulders because now everyone's going to want him to live up to the hype. And then Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones being added to the Raiders. I want to see the whole AFC West division after this shakeup. Khalil Mack to the Chargers. J.C. Jackson also to the Chargers. Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams to the Raiders. The Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill, got nothing back except for a couple of draft picks. The Broncos got Russell Wilson, and that's just about it. Yes. There were a lot of moves in the AFC West.
Chiefs got Juju Smith-Schuster, but
he's gonna
that's like the wide receiver 1.
And they Chiefs also got MVS.
Marquez Valdez, yeah.
Yeah, they got, and they got a rookie that I've been looking at, and I'm actually looking at him in my fantasy leagues too. Sky Moore. I think Sky Moore is going to be a player. I really like him.
I think I've heard people talking about him saying he's got the speed to become the new Tyreek Hill. Obviously, no one's ever going to match Tyreek Hill because of the caliber of superstar he is. Mm-hmm. But I definitely think that Sky Moore is a speedy receiver that could kind of fill the position that Tyreek left in the team.
There you go.
You know who I want to look at jumping in the year 2? On the defensive side, I want to look at Patrick Surtain and how he's going to play this year. I felt like he had an amazing rookie season. I feel like he's going to make a stride in year 2, so I'm definitely open to see more from him.
Yeah, he definitely lived up to the hype. I want to see the New Orleans Saints team. Jameis Winston leading the way. They picked up Jarvis Landry. If Michael Thomas can stay healthy, that'd be great. You got Alvin Kamara, so you've got that whole entire offense around you. The offensive line is pretty decent too. And then you pick up Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger from the Chiefs for just a free agency deal, not even a trade. Like, that Saints team could be another team to look at. Like, so many moves that just happened this offseason that changed so many of these teams.
But don't forget, you got one player from Ohio State that I love, and I know he's going to be a big addition to that Saints roster. Chris Olave. Yes, Chris Olave, okay. Definitely.
Why am I kind of excited to see him play too?
Now I wanted to tell you guys something. I had a fantasy draft this past Tuesday, and I had the 10th pick because I won the championship back-to-back in this league. And guess who I picked? I picked Michael Thomas first, and then the second player I picked back-to-back was Chris Olave, because I really think that both of them together are going to have a really good season if Jameis Winston can get them the ball. Definitely.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know if Jameis Winston is going to be the long-term, because he did have a good couple of games before he tore his ACL, obviously, last year. But we'll see.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the Steelers quarterback position? Kenny Pickett or Mitchell Trubisky? Who do you think will be the starter for Week 1?
I drafted Kenny Pickett, and I think that he will definitely probably get in there a couple weeks into the season. I think they can't, from what I saw in preseason, they basically have to let this kid play. And I know that Tomlin has said that there's going to not be a knee-jerk decision, but Trubisky looked pretty good. He did look pretty good. All right, guys. I tell you what, how about if we do this? We're going to take a break, and we'll be back on the other side. My question is, do you want me to take the break, lead the break music? Okay. All right, guys, we'll be back right after this. Here's our voice actress lady, and here she is right now.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
And we'll be back with the young GM.
You're listening.
Go ahead.
Okay,
to the
we just got we're at 20 minutes, almost at it's 18 and some change. How you guys doing out there?
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Glad to be back on with you guys, and like I said, this has been a really, really good experience, and I'm just happy that we're back in the saddle. Definitely.
Well, since we're talking about college football, we're visiting you on your show. Why don't we talk about your boys in Ohio? How do you like that win over Notre Dame?
Oh, man. That was they kind of got me scared for a little bit, but I'm glad that they did get a chance to pull it out. So 21-10 wasn't a bad win, but, I got to give it to Ohio State, or I got to give it to Notre Dame, because Notre Dame did play us pretty tough. And they look pretty good, and number 5 team in the country is nothing to slouch over,
Yeah. Kind of sad that Ohio is number 2. It's literally above Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, we did pull out a win this week too, 45-13. Not bad. I was really hoping that Notre Dame would have taken down Ohio. It's kind of depressing. But maybe the saying is, if you want it done, you do it yourself. So maybe if Oklahoma plays Ohio, I'm not sure if they do, but maybe we can beat them. Maybe beat them 72-0. Seems like a reasonable score.
Oh, God. All right, we'll see you in the national championship then. Yeah. Kaden GURU, I got a question for you. Who is your favorite college team?
I like Delaware because we seen them last year. They actually lost against Villanova, I'm pretty sure, in that game. So, but definitely, if I would have to pick Like, if I had to pick who would win the national championship, like, this year, I would probably pick Alabama. That's, like, the safest choice.
I agree with you there, Kaden GURU. I think Alabama is going to be another one of those teams that's hard to beat. The GM just kind of flashed back and gave me that side eye because I know he's always looking for Oklahoma to be in the national championships. But, truth is, you got to beat the man to beat a man.
I mean, last year we almost beat him, but we lost. That last touchdown is what messed us up. You know what? Alabama just obliterated Utah State 55-0. So, I mean, I can't really feel bad for Oklahoma. We got to feel bad for Utah State, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty horrible score. But you got to remember, it's Utah State.
Sure.
Okay? That's like Alabama playing maybe, I don't know, Moreno Valley High School.
Exactly.
The Buccaneers versus the Jets.
The Buccaneers versus the Jets.
Yeah. Hey, did you see that other score? Florida beat Utah. Speaking of Utah and Utah State, Florida beat Utah 29-26. Now I hate to say this to you guys, but I did bet on. I had a 10-team parlay that I just lost big time because Ohio State didn't beat Notre Dame by 17, and I had Utah winning that game and they lost. But did you guys see? This other score, Rice lost to USC 66-14.
You know what? I did see that. I'm looking at that right now, and I'm assuming that Caleb Williams may have played in that game because I'm pretty sure. Man, he didn't do too bad. 19 completions out of 22 attempts, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11.3 average. I'm excited. I'm sad that Caleb Williams left Oklahoma. I am so excited to see how he does this year on USC, especially with Lincoln Riley now.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley, that was a big loss for you guys. I didn't think that he would do it.
Yeah. Losing Lincoln Riley just made most of our players hit the transfer portal, and then I guess you could say we're kind of in the state of rebuilding now because a majority of our players left for the transfer portal when Lincoln Riley left.
Yeah, but you got to notice where they left to.
Yeah.
Most of them left to go to SC. Now, we already talked about Alabama being the man that you got to beat for the national championship this year, or the possibly the leading contender. But SC has been there to the big dance before. They have won it a few times, and with all of your Oklahoma players jumping in that portal this year, you cannot knock them out of contention.
I think we'll manage. So for national championship, my 4 teams that I have, unfortunately, are Ohio State, Oklahoma, SC, and Alabama. Those are some top tier teams that I think we could see in the national championship, especially Alabama. They're ranked number 1.
Oh my goodness, Guru, I know I don't want to step on you, but did you recognize what he did?
Yeah.
He actually said Ohio before Oklahoma.
Wow. I did. I noticed that.
Let's calm down. There was nothing meant by that. I'm not implying that Ohio is better than Oklahoma. I'm just saying that was the first team that popped up right here.
I did.
But yes, Oklahoma, Ohio, SC, and Alabama.
All right, Kaden. Kaden, who do you got?
I got Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, and I'm going to go Notre Dame. I'm going to go the exact same as last year. These are my 4 teams.
Well, Ohio State didn't make it last year. Cincinnati was there last year.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'll say those 4 teams
actually
I
lost.
like Notre Dame.
You like Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Well, Cincinnati did lose today. They lost to Arkansas 31-24.
Notre, I was going to say, sorry.
No,
Notre Dame is not a bad choice, actually, for the top four, especially for them having almost beaten Ohio State. That's a pretty solid choice, because just because you lose week one doesn't mean that you're going to go and lose the rest of the entire season.
Yeah, but you know, most of
Ohio State.
come on. Oh, come on. Nah, you know, and I was really sweating this game because, you know, a 17-point spread, you know, that was kind of, you know, I was thinking about taking basically the Notre Dame and the 17 points. So I was like, man, it's going to be like really tough. But see, that's the thing. Our top five, a 2 seed and a 5 seed playing each other. You know, that's a really tough game to start off with. You know, now like Michigan. Michigan played who? Colorado State, and you know beat the mess out of them. You know, so you know it's a lot of good teams, and believe me, there's going to be a lot of different you know scenarios. My Final Four would probably be Ohio State. Ooh, it's going to be close. I'm going to have to say Georgia, Alabama, and I hate to say this, but Michigan. I might, you know, it might be 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams.
I thought you didn't even say the word Michigan. You said that team up north.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Yeah, I know, but I you know, I got to look at it this way. They're the defending champions in the Big Ten, and, you know, I give them credit. You know, I can't really down people, you know, even though that they're that team from up north. I can't down them. I respect them, you know, and I'm one of the few that do, you know. And matter of fact, I do have a good friend that lives down in Florida, which is, his name is Robin the 321. He actually is a Michigan fan. And, you know, it's kind of weird to have a Michigan fan that's a friend of yours, right? Even if you're an Ohio State guy. Huh? Say again? I can't hear you.
Give credit where credit is due.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I like, that's why I respect everybody. I respect everybody and their teams.
Well, there's a couple of other games that went on. There's Wisconsin. They beat Illinois State 38-0. There's a lot of blowouts this week. SC, Oklahoma, Georgia, Wisconsin. What's going on? Why are they matching up the higher division teams versus the lower teams?
Well, that's how it usually starts, where, you know, I guess they, you know, the bigger teams are going to have they're going to have like a warm-up game. But then again, it seems like Alabama has a warm-up game every other week or so, if they're not into their SEC schedule. That's one of the things I really don't like about Alabama, is that, you know, they'll play a team like Mercer or somebody like Bethune-Cookman, but yet and still, you know, if one of the Big Ten teams did that, they'd be crying bloody murder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what I want to say divisional, but I think that's what this college playoffs is going to be all about. It's going to eliminate a lot of that, because hopefully they will look at the teams that those colleges actually played and what their power rankings are, you know, versus the team that they played. And if they're not even within the ballpark, I think that they should not get that consideration for that national playoffs, that national champion playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. You guys okay with break time and all?
You know what? We do have to pay some bills, so we'll send it out here. with the young GM, and we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
You got it.
Back to the young GM. The 13-year-old general manager, almost 14 now, been fired by 31 teams, still living the dream. GM, you know we can be found on Anchor as well as Spotify. And if you want to contact us, you can contact us at theyounggm on Instagram.com. GM, you know, as the season gets started, we got to make some predictions. But prior to that, we got to take a look at who's going to be playing and who's not. I know a lot of players got injured during the preseason and during the off season. But let's take a look at some news. Guru Sports.
Yes,
How are you looking at some news, some NFL news?
Sounds good to me.
So the first update for September 3rd, all we have is the Jags cut their linebacker Ty Summers. But if we do go into news from yesterday, September 2nd, which is probably the most recent we're going to get, the Cardinals signed a defensive lineman.
Introducing
and they
new.
also signed a defensive lineman, and they signed a safety, Jalen Thompson, to a 3-year extension. Do you think that will help the Cardinals at all with these defensive signings? How do you think this goes for the Cardinals?
I think it'd be a pretty good, really, really good addition because, you know, the Cardinals are always with, you know, Buda Baker and all these other guys that they have on there, it should help them out a lot more, definitely.
Now, not too much going on here with the Bears. They just signed an offensive lineman and they cut a defensive lineman. I'm not sure how the Bears offense looks, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect them, but I feel like an offensive lineman would definitely help if he can plug them in to help Justin Fields, because that pass rush from the opposing teams other than the Lions is going to be horrible.
Yeah, but you got to look at it this way. The lineman that they just signed was the lineman that the Las Vegas Raiders just got rid of. And it's kind of funny because it seems like no one wanted him. But the Bears picked him up. So Alex Leatherwood is now the proud owner of the Chicago Bears.
Wonder where Alex Leatherwood comes from. Why would anybody literally want to pick or buy the Bears?
It's kind of weird because wasn't he a first-round draft pick?
He was. He was a first-round draft pick that they cut, and now he's a player for the Chicago Bears.
Actually, John Gruden reached on that draft pick. That's why he was a projected third-round pick in the 2021 draft, I'm pretty sure. And John Gruden wanted at him, so that's why they got him.
Oh, that makes sense. Speaking of injuries, like you were saying, this is interesting. The Bengals signed a quarterback, Brandon Allen. Why would they sign a quarterback if they've already got Joe Burrow? Injuries.
Insurance. Definitely need some insurance.
Why Brandon Allen out of all people? I feel like they could have gotten a better quarterback than that.
Well, you know what? We're going to continue going through these a little bit of news here, but with all the injuries, all the signings, all these teams still have to pare down to their roster and who's actually going to be on the team this year. So I can pretty much guarantee you between now and next Sunday, there's going to be some more trades, probably a few more injuries, some guys getting cut, some guys getting traded to other teams. This is the NFL. And what does it stand for?
Not for long.
Not for long.
But speaking of injuries, this makes sense. The Bengals safety was placed on the injured reserve. I believe that means he's out all season. So the Bengals went and signed a replacement safety whose name is also Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is a doppelganger. Anyways, Well, looks like the Cowboys cut their running back because he was injured, which kind of sucks. Actually, he was injured. He probably won't be able to play, and now he's no longer on the football team. But hey, good for him. He's no longer on the Cowgirls.
Wow. Oh, man. Cowboys are just a mess. You know, I think that the Cowboys are basically, they were basically right there at the doorstep of winning that division and probably going on. But now, I just don't see them winning. I don't know. They're at least the 6th or 7th best team in the NFC.
In the which the 6th or 7th best team where?
In the NFC.
In the NFC.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, let me ask Kaden Guru this. Since the Cowgirls play in your division, how do you feel about them?
I feel like they're still going to be a good team, like when we verse them, because it's a division rival. It's rivalry. It's gonna be a good game, but I feel like as like in the NFC, I feel like they're not going to be contenders like they were like last season.
Yeah, they've done way too much. They got rid of Tyron. No, that was the Saints. They got rid of Amari Cooper, and now he's on the Browns. That was their first mistake. They've done a couple other things that just really hurt them, and the Eagles have done so many things that just benefited them. That the Cowboys are the new Eagles, and that they're still kind of a contender because obviously the Commanders and the Giants will not beat out the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are in a situation that the Eagles were in a couple years ago where it doesn't seem like they're really going to win the division by hurting themselves by letting go of these players, and the Eagles are bringing in these new players to help them. So it's kind of like they swapped the roles.
Also, Tyron Smith went down with the Cowboys, so their line is going to be impacted, and we'll see how they perform without him.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt. One of the best in the league. We got the Broncos signing a cornerback off of the practice squad. I mean, I'm not sure how that helps. Probably more depth at the cornerback position. That safety, that entire secondary is already stacked with Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain, Kareem Jackson, and they've got another corner that I have no clue who they are. The Texans are gonna probably win like one game this season, so it doesn't matter what the Texans do. They're not. If the Texans make the playoffs, I don't know what to say. This team literally has no quarterback. They have no running back. They have no wide receivers, linemen, or defense. Their team was done when Deshaun Watson left and when DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt both got traded to the Cardinals. Yep. Philip Lindsay left as well. Once all that happened, their team was done.
No, I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to say that Philip Lindsay just got cut by the Colts.
Oh, man. He cannot.
Legend.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Cut by the Colts. And, another thing, too. I wanted to mention this. If the Texans are only going to win, I think they might win 2 games. And the 2 games that they're going to win is they're going to beat the Jaguars. That's the 2 games. That's probably the only 2 games.
You really think they're going to beat the Jags?
Yes. I only put. You know what? I only see 3 wins for the Jaguars this year, and I'm a Jaguar fan. I 3 wins. I see 3 wins.
I think Davis Mills is going to have a better season than Trevor Lawrence is.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to pop off.
I actually think the Jags this year, the Jags and the Texans, I think they actually switched roles this year, and I think that the Jags are actually going to have one of those years remember when Baker Mayfield came into the league, and his first year he did okay, but the second year they stomped all over the Steelers.
Yeah.
I think that the Jags are going to have one of those years. They're not going to go anywhere, but I think they're going to shock some teams. And the Texans are going to get the first round draft pick in the 2023-24 season.
And here's the thing. The Jags have actually done something to help Trevor Lawrence. They paid a ton of money for Christian Kirk. They picked up Seth Williams, a wide receiver off the practice squad. They signed a safety off the practice squad, and they got rid of Urban Myers because kicking kickers won't win you football games.
Oh, you know what? Just that guy. I don't know. It just really disappointed me to the point of, I just can't believe that he came in there and just ruined that team. And, it set him, I think it set that team back. And that's why I think it's going to take them a long time to try to come around and try to win some games. And like I said, I just don't see, I don't even see 3 wins on this season. And only looking at, hey, they got to play the Falcons, they got to play the Giants, and if they beat those 2, and then maybe another lucky win over Indianapolis in Jacksonville, I don't see it. I just don't see 5 or 6 wins. I see 3, maybe.
Well, you know what? You mentioned Atlanta Falcons. I always got to give San Diego State players their props. And I talked about him last year. Darren Hall. He's a defensive player from. He's on the Atlanta Falcons, but he played for San Diego State, and I think that this is probably going to be one of his breakout years. Also, he had a good year last year. Those good years, especially for defensive players, once they start really learning the system and they get bigger, stronger, and faster, they become better players. Exactly. But as we talk about San Diego State players, I do want to mention Matt Ariza. Yeah. Matt Ariza was the kicker from San Diego State who went to the Giants. Was it the Giants?
It was the Bills.
Oh, he went to the Bills. That's right. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He went to the Bills. I don't want to disgrace the Bills by saying the Giants. He went to the Bills only to be accused later of sexual assault and a gang rape while he was at San Diego State. Mm-hmm. And the Bills immediately released him.
The NFL doesn't want to have anything to do with that, and the Bills know that for sure. The thing is that incident was covered up for like 7 months. Like they said in a document that it was reported on October 18th of 2021.
Okay, but now I'm playing devil's advocate here because I wasn't there. I haven't read any of the other documents except the news that I got. Who was it covered up by?
The university.
The university. Now, that being said, what I did hear was the accuser, the alleged accuser, has said that the university was covering it up, the San Diego Police Department was covering up, and the Buffalo Bills were covering it up.
Yes, the Bills were aware of the incident when they that Monday that they cut their punter. Because they cut their punter, Matt Hack, and they signed Ariza, and they were aware of what Ariza did when they cut their original punter.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I do want to say this in regards to the contracts and how players' attitudes and players' actions are. You know, when kids go to college and they're playing on a college team, that should be one of the things that they are told right off the bat. If you are accused while you are a student here, you are done. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be any, let's see how he can make it through school and see if he can make it to the league. Because I think at that point, then it just becomes a game of, can we entrap this guy, or can we say that this guy did something to us because he's in the league now? I guarantee you, had Matt Ariza never made it to the league, never became professional football player, NFL, not for long. Had he not made it to that status, I can almost, I'm not the judge. I'm not even the alleged accuser. I can almost say that none of this would have come up.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I do believe there was a money issue involved.
Well, I was going to say that, with the Browns quarterback situation, like I said, we don't know. You're right. We don't know none of these guys. None of these guys we don't know at all. But the thing about it is that that if you are going to represent a school, a team in the NFL, or anything, you have to be on your best behavior. And you basically have to, learn, you got to be very, very conscious and cognizant of what's going on. You cannot go out there and basically, excuse the expression, act a damn fool, and just basically disrespect everybody or disrespect things in general. You can't do it. But
that's what my coach says. Whenever we wear our gear outside of school, we're always representing that school, my school. We're always representing that logo, and we got to keep in mind that there's like a brand to us, and if we mess around and like put shame on that brand, it's going to look bad for the school and for the team.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. And we'll see, another thing too is that, I can say, for, me knowing you as my cousin Curtis, we know that we always try to teach our children the right thing from wrong, and basically the standard of how we should be able to raise decent children and decent members of society. That's what I always instill in Kaden and in Dante Guru. I make sure that they know that when you go out here, you're not just representing yourself, but you're representing, your family, you're representing everything. And that, basically go out there and just, act a damn fool, excuse the expression again. You cannot do that because, like you said, like Kaden said, you don't want to bring shame to anything, your brand or your family, in general.
Yep, you always have to make a good name for yourself and for that higher power that you represent.
Yeah. And as we finish up the injuries and status reports, think we should take a break?
I think we should take a break. We are right up against it, guys. Give us a couple minutes and we will be right back with the young GM. Let's go pay some bills.
All right.
Yeah, we're at the 18th.
You're listening to the Guru Talking Sports Podcast.
GM, we were talking about the injuries. We did some football news. I'm loving this simulcast with the Guru Talking Sports with Kaden GURU and the
together, talk about everything we've talked about, college, NFL news, and I'm ready to get into these week one predictions and see what you guys think of this season.
All right. Well, let's start it off with our very first game, and let's do a round robin here. Kaden GURU, first game on the ticket on the board is the Bills and the Rams. Who are you picking?
I'm taking the Bills. I had them last year winning the Super Bowl, and then they have a better team this year, so I'm picking the Bills.
Excellent. How about you, GURU?
I definitely got to go with the Bills. I think the Bills are the most complete team in the NFL. But, you got to look at it this way. The Rams are still the champions, but I think they get knocked off this year. I'll go with the Bills in week 1.
GM?
For me, I'm honestly going to take the Bills. I was contemplating taking the Rams because Super Bowl champions, this, and that. But as a Cardinals fan, I can never support the Lambs. And also, Von Miller was just added to that defense of the Buffalo Bills. Definitely have to take the Bills here.
And I think it's a clean sweep because I'm going with the Bills also. And as you mentioned, one of the main points is because of Von Miller moving over there. On top of the fact that
the Bills
I don't
team.
care. I don't care who the Lambs are playing. They can be playing the Detroit Lions. I'm rooting against them all the time.
Me too.
All right. Second game on the billet is the Saints against the Dirty Birds, the Falcons. Guru, who you got for this game?
I like the Saints. I don't think the Falcons are going to probably be that good this year. Like I said, if Chris Olave and Michael Thomas can definitely get together and be that tandem, duo tandem with Alvin Kamara back, and that defense of the Saints, I don't think the Falcons have a chance. Give me the Saints.
All right. Kaden GURU.
I got the Saints as well. A lot of defensive star power. I do like to see Kyle Pitts score a touchdown in this game, though. But I'm still taking Saints.
Okay.
For me,
GM?
I got to do the Saints. This team is, unfortunately, because they're in the NFC, they are one of the, I don't want to say they're complete because I still got some gaps that they need to fill, but they are one of the more complete teams. They've got that defense of Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, Marshawn Lattimore, Cameron Jordan. You got all those people in the defense. And then on the offense, as Guru said, you got Chris Olave, you got Michael Thomas, you just added Jarvis Landry, you have Jameis Winston, your quarterback, Alvin Kamara running. Like, this team is just, like, so good with all the players that they have. Like, this team is going to win by a lot.
All right. Well, I'm generally not a homer, but as I said, I'm going to root for the Atlanta Falcons because of my homerism for San Diego State and Darren Hall. I have no other reason to pick them. I do believe that the Saints have the better team, but I'm rooting for my boys. I'm picking the Falcons. Okay, now this next game. This is one that the GM last year would have hands down picked the Browns, but we'll see who he picks this year. GM, who you got against this game? The Browns and the Panthers.
I got the Panthers. For one, Baker Mayfield all the way. I want to see him put up 42 points against the Browns. No, I'm just kidding. That might be a little too much. I do want to see him go and absolutely obliterate the Browns, especially since they did add Amari Cooper and Jarvis Landry was getting older, but I feel like Amari Cooper just isn't going to produce as well. This might be another one of those Odell instances where the team is run heavy and Amari Cooper might not get all his targets. At this point, I don't care if they complain about the quarterback, but this Panthers team is definitely going to win. I don't think they're going to put up 42 points. It seems more reasonable to say 16 to 20 points.
Well, with and I know Guru doesn't like to mention the name, but with the Browns, QB1 out for 16 games or 11 games or however many games he's out for, basically almost the whole season. Who is their second quarterback? Who is their QB2? And if they really don't have a QB, what are they going to turn to? Obviously, the throwing game, the passing game is out of question. It's going to be a heavy run game. So because of that, I think I'm personally going to go with the Panthers. How about you, Kaden GURU?
I'm going Browns. They got a strong run game, good defense. Quarterback plays that's going to be the main issue. But overall, I think they're good. I'm going to go take the Browns.
Guru, how about it?
I'm definitely going to go with the Browns because I hate to say this, but I think that Jacoby Brissett can be a game manager until they get back the Browns quarterback. I like Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is one of my favorite players in the NFL, and I think that he will have a monster game up against that defense. And I really think that Myles Garrett will silence Baker Mayfield in this game. So I'm definitely going with the Browns by a small margin to win that game.
Okay.
The reason I disagree with you, Brian Burns is also a great pass rusher. Plus, the Browns cannot just rely heavily on Kareem Hunt, and they cannot rely on Nick Chubb. They're going to have to throw. And with Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Rashard Higgins as their top 3 receivers, I'm not sure that those receivers are going to get it done with Jacoby Brissett is bad. That's why he hasn't started for any team. If I was the Browns, I'd start Josh Rosen and Jacoby Brissett.
Well, he ain't there no more. Josh Rosen was gone.
And he got cut that fast, huh?
I know. He's going to like the next team he goes to is number 7.
He's the new Brock Osweiler. He went from Cardinals to Dolphins to Niners to Falcons to Dolphins to Browns. Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, I think that they are going to have to rely on that run, and you can't win just by running the ball.
Exactly.
You can't win just by running the ball. I'm going to reiterate, I think the Panthers are going to take that. So let's move to that next game, the 49ers against the Bears. Who you got, Guru?
49ers. Definitely Brandon Ayuk and whoever they start at quarterback. Jimmy G is still going to be there. And, I still like Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to be a surprise. Hopefully. 49ers are basically they're going to be a great team. But like I said, they definitely going to need, Trey Lance to bring them over the hump. So I'm going 49ers.
Okay. How about a GM?
So that's what I was kind of thinking. Maybe the Bears could pull this off. Maybe the Bears could do this, and that. But then I remember the Bears barely have a good receiving core. Their only good running back is Montgomery. They have no offensive line. Their quarterback is Justin Fields. An Ohio quarterback is never the way to go when you're trying to lead your team. they just lost Khalil Mack to the Chargers, and Roquan Smith wants a trade. Like, this team is torn up. They're in a rebuilding position. The Niners are going to smash the Bears, absolutely obliterate them.
Kaden GURU, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I got to see Justin Fields play good. Maybe if they have a shot. But other than that, I got 49ers.
I think it's a clean sweep because I'm going with 49ers also. And I'm going with the 49ers based on history. The 49ers have always played the NFC North teams very well. Okay? And I know this is not a game that we're talking about, but just think back when the 49ers have played the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
The 49ers have always, and Green Bay has been the number 1 seed in the NFL on many occasions. Green Bay has been the perennial NFC champion team and ended up losing to San Francisco. So just simply based on history of San Francisco playing NFC North teams, I'm picking San Francisco.
Yeah. So you got a great point. Great point.
I think our next game that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Bengals against the Steelers. Almost call them the aluminum foil.
Oh, man.
GM, who you pick for this game?
This one's tough because the Steelers just went out and they drafted Kenny Pickett, so they got their quarterback position filled. Oh man. I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals, even though the Steelers did fill the position at quarterback with Pickett. They've got Najee at running back, Claypool, Deontay Johnson. They've got all this talent on this roster. Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to see. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. They're the defending, they're defending AFC championships. Oh my god, they're the defending AFC champion team, and they just got the better team overall. I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals, but I'm gonna say this one is close.
How about it, Kaden Guru?
I'm gonna go Bengals as well. They're gonna ride high off of their Super Bowl appearance. I feel like they're gonna use that as motivation to win this game, and many more to come. So definitely Bengals.
Guru, what do you think?
Definitely Cincinnati because of Jamar Chase. I think he's probably one of the best second-year receivers we'll ever see. And I like Kenny Pickett, but the Steelers, oh man, I don't see them winning this game. I definitely have to go with Cincinnati in that one.
Wow. I guess I'm going against the grain here because I actually think the Steelers have a chance of winning this game. One, they are playing the AFC, going up against the AFC champions here, and they have a point to prove. You know, when Ben Roethlisberger was with them, you know, they were the team that everyone talked about, okay, you got to get past the Steelers. Well, now the Steelers have a point to prove, and they need to prove that they are still maybe not that team personnel-wise, but they are that team with that iron curtain, okay, where they break out the terrible towels and get the team motivated to a win. And I think that is going to, on top of the fact that Tomlin, you know, this may be his last year. And I think that he wants to start it off with a bang. And what better way to start it off by beating the AFC champions?
Yeah.
Okay, our next game. Oh, Kaden Guru, this is right up your alley. The Eagles against the Lions. What do you think?
Well, if we lose to the Lions, then everyone needs to be fired. But I just want to say that I'm picking my team every time we have this. I'm never going against the Eagles, so you already know my pick.
All right. You know, one of the reasons why we call him the young GM and we say he's been fired by 31 teams is because he's one of those perfectionists. And if you listen to the first season of the podcast, he'll tell you he'll fire a player immediately. He expects perfection from him immediately, right out the bat. He might give you one shot, but if you blow it a second time, you're fired.
The only players that I give more than one chance are my favorite players. Fred Warner, middle linebacker of the Niners, Tyrann Matthew, safety for the Saints, and the entire Cardinals team. They get like 5 different chances because that's my team. Other than that, you get no chances. If you're on the Lambs, the 49ers, except for Fred Warner, the Sea Chickens, you got one slight mishap and you're gone.
Oh my God.
It also made me trying to help my team. That's why I'm firing people. Like if I was the GM for the Rams for a day, I'd trade the Cardinals, Cooper Kupp, and the first round pick. If I was part of the Sea Chickens, I'd do DK Metcalf and probably a first round pick. I trade all these good players. Just ruin the entire of the NFL. Make this balanced.
But GM, we're not talking about fantasy football. We can get to that at another show. We're talking about this game right here, the Eagles against the Lions.
Oh, Eagles.
Who's your pick?
Clean sweep, Eagles.
Okay. Guru.
I hate to say it, but the Eagles.
I think it is a clean sweep. It goes all the way. Kaden will be sitting right there rooting with you. All right. Now we talked about one of these teams earlier and how they might eke out 3 wins. This next game is the Colts against the Texans. Guru, I see you shaking your head. Who you got?
The Colts. The Colts are probably going to be the division champs in this division. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, there's no way they can stop him. So I'm definitely going with the Colts in that game.
Go ahead, Guru, or Jim.
I was going to choose the Colts too, obviously, because they just have the better team. You brought up Jonathan Taylor, rushing leader last season. They even their receivers, though. The tight end Molly Cox, he's a really good receiver. You've got Paris Campbell, Michael Pittman. Those 2 are fast. You just added Stephon Gilmore, and you already have DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard. Like, how much better can your team get? You've got one of the better teams in the AFC. Colts are obviously going to win this game.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I think that they are the best team in that division.
Yeah.
Kaden, how about it?
I got Colts. I feel like their defense is kind of underrated, though. They got Kenny Moore. They got Stephon Gilmore, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So, yeah, their secondary is actually really good on paper, so I'm going to take them.
I agree. I think we got another clean sweep there with the Colts. Easily handling the Texans there. But here comes another tight game, and I'm kind of torn by this game. The Patriots against the Dolphins. Now, as I look at this game, I see that the Patriots have been a rebuilding team, and the Dolphins they're managing. Last year they managed to eke out some wins, get some wins on the board. I'm kind of torn with this game, but I think I'm going to, for my total disdain of the Patriots while Tom Brady was there, I'm going to pick the Dolphins. Guru, who are you picking?
I'm going with the Patriots only because I still like Belichick as being a very, very smart mind. Now, we did mention something a while back about can't really win games without throwing the football. Remember that game that they played last year? And I remember this because I was in Syracuse, New York, when they played this game. Buffalo lost to the Patriots, and the Patriots only threw 3 passes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it was like negative. It was in minuses. It was so cold that night.
That was one of the games that I said I will never forget because where I was, and plus Belichick will always. I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm not even a big fan of the Patriots. He is the greatest, one of the greatest coaches I ever seen. Other than John Madden.
I just want to say, I think it's crazy that Art Modell fired him as soon as he was turning around the Browns.
Yeah. But keep it in mind, though. You have an excellent football mind, and things always look good on paper. But when you put some human interaction involved,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody thinks they're gonna win until they get hit in the mouth.
Yeah, indeed. So,
Kaden GURU, who you got for that game?
I feel like it's going to be a really close game, but I got Patriots. I feel like with Belichick, I mean, they're always going to be contenders because he's just so defensive minded, and he knows, he's been there before. He knows how to coach a team. So I'm going to take the Patriots.
How about GM?
I choose Dolphins. May seem like the Dolphins are the underdog here, but think about it. You got Tua. You just added one of the best left tackles in the league, Teron Armstead. You got Tyreek and Raheem, so those are your good targets. You also got Jalen Waddle coming into his second year. and your defense has Byron Jones and Xavier Howard at corner, and then Jerome Baker at middle linebacker, this Dolphins team can beat the Patriots. It's just a matter of how they play, the decisions they make, and what decisions they make on the field.
Exactly. And I think that's where Tom Brady, or not Tom Brady, Tom Brady and the Patriots are always going to be linked. I think that's where Bill Belichick, his superiority as a coach, is going to falter. He's not on the field, and it all depends on what those guys do on that field at that time. We're looking at another game here. It's an easy pick for me. The Ravens against the Jets. I'm going Ravens. Hands down, no questions asked. The Jets have been running on flat tires forever. Guru, who you picking?
Definitely go with my hometown Baltimore Ravens. But I'm going to say this. Jets have this one kid that I've been looking at, and I hate to say this in front of Kaden because we do have our fantasy draft later on. Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall is going to be a very, very special running back in this league, but I still like the Ravens to win that because of what Lamar can do. Lamar is going to, he can dazzle them. Even though he doesn't have any wide receivers, I'll still go with the Ravens winning that game.
Kaden, how about you?
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought the Guru was gonna say Elijah Moore because that's who I was thinking about when we were talking about fantasy. But I got the Ravens in this one. I have Mark Andrews on my fantasy team. He was a All-Pro tight end. Led tight ends in receiving last year. I'm going to go Ravens.
Hold on, I want to ask you a question. Don't you have Lamar too?
Oh, yeah, I do have Lamar too.
Yeah.
I have both of them.
We're both in the same fantasy league. And the thing about it is that, and between me and him, we don't do any collaboration or anything like that, only because we're, I'm the commissioner. He's actually the co-commissioner. But the thing about it is that with him is that, I gave him the opportunity to play in this league, and he's done really good. But the thing is that we don't collaborate on anything. So I try to explain to him how to play the game, and he did pretty good his first year. First year he came in second. I came in third.
Sounds like the student is teaching the teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
GM, who you got for this?
I kind of just want to be funny. I'm going to choose the Jets. I know that this may seem like, whoa, why are you choosing the Jets, this and that. The Jets can beat the Ravens. Now, this is a stretch, but the Jets have good receivers. They have Zach Wilson, who's coming into his second year. They just drafted Ahmed Gardner. That's a good corner. You've got to contain Lamar Jackson in the pocket. Stop him from scrambling. That's your first thing. Lock down Mark Andrews, and then you're good. His receivers, he's played with them, but the receivers he's playing with now, he may not be used to because he used to have Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews that he targeted.
Yeah.
Marquise is gone. That was a key piece. Lock down Andrews, contain Jackson, get your offense down the field, and the Jets can win this game. Now, the Jets are obviously probably going to get destroyed, but if the Jets somehow win, I'll be pretty happy. It'll be something nice to see.
I bet you will. All right. Okay, now, Kaden, I got to tell you a little backstory about this next team.
Yeah.
The GM has this love-hate relationship with Trevor Lawrence.
Hey.
So every time we see Trevor Lawrence, he is all over Trevor like he is all over Ohio State. This next game, we're going to start it off with the GM. It's again the Jaguars against the Commanders. Jim, who are you picking for this game?
All right, this is close, but I'm going to go with the Commanders of the sole fact that they just picked up Carson Wentz. He's obviously not, but he had. Let's not forget, even though it was only one time, he had an MVP caliber season in. Where did he play again? Oh, Philly.
Might I add that team he played on won the Super Bowl? I just want to say.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Anyways, they've got Scary Terry. They've got Jonathan Allen, Chase Young. They've got the Washington Commanders, also another team that could take down the superior team. But I have the Commanders coming out on top on this one.
Okay. Kaden, how about you?
Despite all my venom, the Commanders and their failed rebrand, Daniel Snyder, their terrible Sean Taylor jersey retirement, I'm going to actually pick them. I'm picking the Commanders.
Wow. Okay. Guru.
I am going with, I don't know why, Jacksonville Jaguars.
You going with Jacksonville because you got a big sticker on your wall back there.
I know. Only reason I'm going with them is because I want to see what Travis ATM has, because I've actually waited a whole year for him to come back. So I'm gonna go. Geez, can't get no worse. So.
You know what Travis ATM has? He has the deficit. He has a deficit of ability. I'm taking the Commanders here against the Jaguars. Hands down. I think that Trevor Lawrence might actually have a decent game, but I think they're not going to have I don't think they're going to have a game that they need to beat the Commanders. I think that I think Jaguars are going down, Commanders on top.
There are two bad teams, so it's just so hard to choose.
Well, I can't root for a team that has Daniel Snyder as their owner. Not at all. I just can't.
Me neither.
But you know what, guys? We are not quite through yet, but we are up against it. Our producers are telling us we got to pay some bills right now. So we'll be right back with the Young GM and our simulcast with the Guru of Sports and Kaden Guru. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
All right.
Welcome back to the Young GM. GM, we know that you can be seen, contacted, and questioned on Instagram at Young GM on Instagram.com. But this podcast can be heard on Anchor as well as Spotify. But we would be remiss if we didn't ask the Guru, where can Guru Talking Sports be heard?
It can be heard on different platforms such as iTunes. We are on the iHeartRadio. We're on Spreaker. Spreaker is the main vessel that we come out of. And we also are, basically we can be found on Instagram at Guru Talking Sports _podcast. And, people can find me at GOAT39 on Twitter. And they can find me also at MacGTS _BB39. And that's the Guru Talking Sports official handle for Twitter.
Excellent. Now, guys, as we roll into these last few games, we've got some divisional games coming up here. And we always know that these division games are pretty tight. But the first game we got on on tap as we wrap this up are the Giants against the Titans. Kaden GURU, who are you picking for this game?
Well, I think Daniel Jones sucks, so I'm taking. And I'm glad that he's the Giants quarterback, because that's like 2 wins for the Eagles usually.
All right. Well, obviously, Kaden GURU is going with it.
I definitely got to go with the Titans. I mean, even though they lose A.J. Brown, they still got, Derrick Henry. Tannehill is going to be okay, even though, he lost his main target. Giants, I don't see too much from them. I'll go with Tennessee.
I'll go with Tennessee as well.
All right, looks like it's going to be a clean sweep for Tennessee. As a matter of fact, one of my daughters just moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I wonder how many games she's gonna try to cart her significant other to, who he just happens to be a Sea Chicken fan, but they're living in Tennessee now, so maybe they'll switch over and become Titans fans. Okay. GM, this is your game here.
Cardinals, all the way.
The Cardinals versus the Chiefs. Obviously, the GM
Cardinals
has spoken his piece.
Tyreek Hill is gone. Travis Kelce's garbage. Miko Hardman's trash. Demarcus Robinson not going to do anything. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, decent. Travis Kelce's actually not trash. He's decent. Patrick Mahomes is decent. Miko Hardman, and he'll be fine. DeMarcus Pringle's going to eat up like a chip. And Tyrann Mathieu's gone. This team is only good player is Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. Tyrann Mathieu's gone. Trash secondary already. They've got no corners. They've got the only safety that I know on that team is Daniel Sorensen, and that's kind of sad.
Kaden GURU, how about you?
Let me go Cardinals.
You're going Cardinals, okay? GURU.
I still think Kansas City is dangerous. I'm definitely going to go with. I'm going to go against the grain and go with Kansas City in this one.
You're actually not going against the grain, despite the fact that I love the young GM with all my heart. I think that Kansas City is going to be able to eke this one out. I know that Kyler Murray is his man, and I know that the Chiefs had made some very, very questionable choices this last offseason. But I think this is going to be one of those games where, because it's early in the season, and several of the teams still haven't begun to gel. I think that the Chiefs are going to be able to eke this one out because of history, because of just the chemistry that the players that are left there have with one another. And Patrick Mahomes, despite the fact that the young GM says he's decent, I think that he's a little more than decent. He's one of those quarterbacks that need to be watched out.
This is why you're an Ohio State fan. We cannot get along on anything. You forget, we got Buda Baker, we got Isaiah Simmons, we got Byron Murphy, we've got J.J. Watt, we've got Zach Allen, we've got Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, we've got Trey McBride, Zach Ertz. I'm pretty sure he left. Our team is stacked. We've got this. Tyreek Hill and Tyrann Mathieu are both gone. They've got DeMarcus Pringle. He's a chip. They've got Miko Hardman and DeMarcus Robinson. Miko Hardman is probably the only one that's going to produce alongside Kelce. Patrick Mahomes, he's better than decent. I do agree. He's a good quarterback. He made the Super Bowl. But that defense, I don't know if they have any good pieces on the defense, and that's what's going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, GURU, how about you?
I picked Kansas City.
Go
Kaden.
Kansas City.
Ooh.
I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's on pace for he's already a Hall of Famer, and he's 26 already. That's just crazy.
Like
I can't.
4th or 5th year.
Yes, and he's already lined up for it, and I believe he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I do too. Definitely.
He has everything on his resume. He has a important season. He has a 2018 season was his best season by far. He has a Super Bowl MVP, a regular season MVP. He has everything right now. And
didn't he win Offensive Rookie of the Year that year that he played?
No, he sat out his first season in 2017 behind Alex Smith. But 2018 was his first coming out season, and he won MVP that year.
All right.
Yeah, that's when he threw 50 touchdowns, right?
I think Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes are all going to be Hall of Famers. They all have the talent to make a Super Bowl. Except for Josh Allen, they all have won MVPs, and I'm pretty sure they can all do it.
All right. Well, our next game is definitely going to be a divisional game, and it's going to be one of those divisional games that could decide who's going to go to the playoffs, depending on what the other divisional teams do. Now, we just talked about Kansas City. We are talking about the AFC West teams here. The Raiders against the Chargers. Now, because they are in my division, I think they're both a bunch of bums. I think that Derek Carr had his best years come and go. I think that he's still shell-shocked from when Von Miller put him out of commission and tore him up that year. I think that despite the fact that they got Devontae Adams from the Green Bay Packers, trash, cheeseheads, I think despite that fact that they think that the harmony and the cohesiveness that they had when they played in college together is going to be back there. Well, guess what? We haven't heard very much about them unless they're just, doing things undercover. Okay? But I don't think it's there.
It's obvious what they're doing. They're searching for Devontae Adams' car that Derek Carr said he'd buy.
Yeah, I guess.
So you're neutral and you say that you're going to tie.
Yeah. It's too early in the season to say that. If I had to pick, and obviously you're forcing me right now, I would actually have to pick the Chargers.
An LA team. Wow.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Strike me down now, please. I do believe that Humphreys has a little more in the tank than Carr does, and I think the Chargers will get by this game. How about you, Kaden? What do you think?
Well, I think the Chargers' offense is revitalized. I feel like they didn't utilize Herbert.
I said Humphreys.
I don't think they utilized him as much as last year. I feel like they're going to do that this year. So I'm going to take the Chargers. I'm really excited for what Justin Herbert has this season.
How about you, Guru?
I am so glad I got to pick this game. Only because I am looking forward for the silver and black to be coming back. I am going with my Las Vegas Raiders to win this game.
Kaden Guru, come on back up on the screen because I got to ask you a question before I go to the young GM. Kaden, as you look at the screen, what is that big old sticker that he has on his wall or on the case there?
It looks like an expansion Jaguars team.
It looks like a Jaguars team. He's Rudy. He says, my Las Vegas Raiders. Yet there's nothing in that room There's nothing in that room that even emanates that he's a Raider fan.
Is Guru a bandwagoner?
I think he might be.
Nah, here, I want to show you this. I want to put. All right, if you see.
Oh, they got all his teams. Got the Patriots there.
Yeah,
Got
the
the
Patriots.
I just.
Chargers, the
Well, this is
Saints,
my locker.
the
This
Ravens.
is my locker that I just had, but the Raiders
He's got
on.
two AFC West teams on that locker. That's disgraceful.
That is absolutely disgraceful.
The Raiders. He has the
Might as
Chargers.
well have the entire league up there.
I like football. I like football. I like baseball. I like all of them.
You know what? We all like football, and we all like baseball and other sports, but we all have our teams.
You know what happened? He got signed to a 1-year contract by all those teams. They got at least. And now the Jags have brought him in for a
Oh
1-year
my
contract.
gosh! Oh my gosh! You guys are something. All right.
No. Kate, this is what struck me. Okay, now he did a pan out shot of that locker side, and all those other teams that he roots for are on the bottom. He still got the Jaguars at the top.
Yeah, that's true.
I had a little side refrigerator up here, and I had all the football teams on it. But guess whose team was at the very top?
The Cardinals?
Broncos.
The Broncos. The Broncos. Jim, who are you picking for this game?
The Raiders. I think that this team is going to ball out against the Chargers. They've got Devontae Adams. They've got Darren Waller. And they have Josh Jacobs. They can run and they can throw. They've got a good offensive line, and their defense just added Chandler Jones. And then I don't care who else they have.
They got Perry, man. He's a Pro Bowler last year. Max Crosby.
Max Crosby is a force to be reckoned with.
He forced the most pressures last season, so definitely something to look for.
Yeah.
I thought I just saw some toilet paper or something flashing across the screen, but at the bottom it says something about commitment to excellence.
Pretty sure that was a Raiders banner.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, it was a Raiders banner.
Well, let's quickly move on from the Los Angeles Traders or Las Vegas Traders
Oh my God!
and get to that next game. This is another big divisional game that's going on between the Green Bay Packers, Cheeseheads, and the Minnesota Vikings. Guru, I'm gonna let you catch your breath before you tell me, because I don't know if I saw any of these teams on your locker there.
Nah.
I sure didn't see no Ohio on there.
No. But who are you picking for this game?
I like Aaron Rodgers, so. But I want to say this: I also like Jefferson, but I can't go against Aaron Rodgers. And he also said that if you don't catch the ball, you're not going to be out there. So we got to remember he's Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to be doing what he usually does. So I'm going with Green Bay in that one.
Well, Aaron Rodgers only said that because they were foolish enough to get rid of Devontae Adams.
That was his choice, though. Packers offered him way more money than the Raiders did.
Well, you're right. You're right that Devontae Adams actually did decide to go there. However,
all of Aaron Rodgers' drama.
All of Aaron Rodgers' drama, and the fact that Aaron Rodgers, he says it's not about the money. It was all about the money.
It is. It is.
Kaden, who you picking? Packers or Vikings?
I feel like Kirk Cousins is actually really underrated. His stats make people from 20 years later going to be like, why aren't they about this guy as a top 10 quarterback in the league? But I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers. I got the Packers in this one.
All right. Jim?
I got the Vikings in this one. The Packers are getting new rookie receivers. They might have to rely a little bit on Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Their defense just lost Zadarius Smith to the Vikings, so he's going to be pressuring Rodgers. And then we're going to see Justin Jefferson hitting the gritty.
Well, you know, I'm gonna ditto what you said there, and also tie in what Kaden said about Cousins being underrated. I think, you know, all these elite quarterbacks minus Mahomes, because Mahomes was a phenom when he first came in. But all these other elite quarterbacks, they actually were in the league for quite a while before they actually became the superstar that they are. And I do believe that Kirk Cousins is a little bit underrated. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is a little frustrated with all the changes that were made, the fact that he doesn't have any receivers, and I think he's going to have a hard time connecting until maybe week 4, 5 of the regular season. So for this game, I'm too going to pick the Vikings.
Aaron Rodgers should just copy down what Russell Wilson's doing.
Okay. All right, our next game. Oh, Guru, here's one of your buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Dallas Cowgirls. Who you got for this?
Tampa Bay. I like Tom Brady. I mean, Brady, you can't go against Brady. Dallas has just lost too much. And like I said, they still have that clown Jerry Jones running the show there. Yeah, Tom Brady. Definitely.
Tom Brady and the Bucs, huh?
Yeah.
GM, who you picking?
I wanted to go Cowgirls until I realized how much bad they've done this offseason, and just ruined their team by making all these bad trades, so I'm going to choose the Buccaneers, even though I don't want to.
Kaden, how about you?
Well, why not? Well, the NFL said, why not put the most overrated franchise in NFL history with the most overrated player in NFL history? and then you got this game. I mean, I'm pretty sure this was the opener for. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like the Cowboys. So I guess I got to go with one. I'm going to take the Bucs.
I think everybody is. We're going to have a clean sweep there, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they think that the Buccaneers are going to win. We just believe that the Cowgirls are just going to lose so badly. Tom Brady is an absolute phenom as a quarterback. I think that, we talked about Hall of Famers. By far, without a question, even I would root for Tom Brady. Only to go to the Hall of Fame. Other than that, any team that he's on,
instantly becomes overrated.
Yeah, instantly becomes overrated. Yeah. But in this instance, I think that they will rise over the Cowgirls. Okay. In the last game, our Monday night game pits the almighty Denver Broncos against the lowly Sea Chickens. Obviously, by looking around,
he's going for the Seahawks.
Who I'm rooting for. Kaden, how about you?
Broncos. I feel like if they win this game, they've won the trade, which kind of they already won the trade. I'm gonna just say Broncos.
Kaden, I'm sorry, but you added a word there that absolutely should not have been in there. You said if they win this game. Not when they win. It's if. You said
no,
if.
No, it's if.
No.
There have been upsets. The Lions beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Lions. We're not talking about.
I'm saying
we're not talking about the AFC.
I mean, well, it is the game of football.
That's an upset that has happened.
That is true.
It is the game of football. Anything can. And I mean, 17-0. 17-0 Patriots Super Bowl. I mean, Eli Manning, helmet catch. Anything can happen on a Sunday or a Monday night, you know?
Yes, any given day. Any given day. So, since you are so vocal about anything can happen, Kaden, you picking Broncos or the Seahawks?
I'm picking the Broncos, but like,
right. Guru, what you got going on there?
I definitely
Broncos.
I definitely see the Broncos winning this game. I don't really have any faith in Drew Lock at all. So I definitely gotta go with the Broncos winning that game.
Jim, I think this is our last game, and you get the last word.
Broncos. Unless Drew Lock goes out there and throws 5 touchdowns to Noah Fine, DK Metcalf, there's no way that they win.
Well, I said you get the last word, but that ain't happening. There is no way that Drew Lock is throwing 5 touchdowns to anybody.
And if he does, then I guess the Broncos will be trading for him again.
Oh my gosh.
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure doing this simulcast with you tonight. Kaden Guru, once again, I thank you. I appreciate you joining us on this simulcast. Guru, it's all about you. It's all about you.
It is great to be a part of a crossover event, coast to coast. And, you know, it's about like 1:30 over here. And I just want to say that, you know, you guys, I appreciate you guys. And you guys got to take it easy. I know Caden's got to go. You have to work tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, I got to work at 12 tomorrow.
You got to work at 12. Okay. So we're both going to be getting ready to go and definitely hit the bricks and get ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to be signing off right now with you guys. And thank you both. You got anything else to add before we split?
No, I was just going to give the GM the actual last word. Thank our producer. And thank you guys again. And let everybody know that the Guru Talking Sports is on Spreaker. He's on iTunes. He's on Amazon. He's everywhere. You can find him. Just type in the Guru Talking Sports Podcast, and you should be able to find him.
And I wanted to say that you guys are great format. And I want you guys to know that if you guys are looking for a great format and great podcast show, find the Young GM on Spotify. Is that right? Spotify, right?
He's on Spotify or Anchor.
And Anchor.
Or contact us at Instagram.com.
At the Young GM on Instagram.com. GM, you got the last words, and then we're going to sign out.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you guys for letting us be on your show. This was very fun to do. I very much enjoyed this. Thank our editors, our producers. Thank my partner here. And then everyone that views this, have a great day.
All right, guys.
All right.
We are out.
Before I close, I want to say one thing, that this was a really, really good and fun and educational crossover event. The Young GM podcast is probably one of the best and unique, outgoing. I mean, it was just something else. I mean, it's just words that I just can't explain. It was just so fun to do that with my cousin Curtis and his grandson, Jared. And I just want to say thank you both. I wanted to let you guys know that I'll be back. We will be back with episode 131, and that'll kick off the NFL season, and we will have a special guest on our podcast that will be taking on the Guru of Sports. I want to say thank you to the crew, Kaden Guru, Ray Guru, Dante Guru, on the kickoff of the NFL season. You guys take care of yourself. The Guru will see you real soon. Later.